Good morning, everybody. I would like to thank Angelo Rossi of CLAL for giving us this year again the opportunity to take the floor in this very important context. Thank you very much again. Well, I have to say that the two previous presentations have already touched upon some of the topics that I had envisaged for my presentation. So I will confirm to you that the evolution of nutritional models, eating habits, consumption macro trends, and the trends that we see in emerging markets confirm that sustainability is becoming an increasingly more important value that determines consumers' decisions as far as food purchase is concerned. What I mean to say is that today, more than ever, there are several positive terms that make sustainability into an important factor when making food choices. So the value of sustainability is consistent with some of the macro trends that have characterized market developments in the last 10 years, specifically all what refers to wellness, health. That can be declined in different ways because there are health products, low-calorie, low-fat products, low-sugar products, but also whole grain products, cereal-based products, superfood, organic products, vegetarian and free-from products, so gluten-free, lactose-free products. I mean, these are all the different shades of eating habits that are centered on wellness. They're all different products, but they have the same type of consumer. The consumer that is aware of the fact that a well-balanced, healthy diet with components bringing a correct nutritional intake extends life expectancy. And on the other hand, the fact that eating healthy food, genuine food, allows us to give a contribution to environmental sustainability and can therefore reduce the environmental impact of our food intake. So talking about wellness and food, there is the perfect marriage between attention to one's own health, the search for genuine ingredients, responsible consumption, and awareness of the environmental impact. The other mega trend that very well can be conjugated with sustainability is a growing demand. Maybe this is not such a global trend as the previous one. It's more typical of countries with an ancient food and culinary tradition. I'm talking of the demand of traditional products that have a strong connection with the area they come from, so zero-mile products, authentic products, and all what can guarantee the quality of the raw materials and of the sustainable production processes. For sure, the dairy industry can recognize this second element, which is something that pervades milk and cheese. But for sure, also wellness plays a role. However, here we have lights and shadows. There are some orientations that are not particularly useful to our industry. Maybe they're better for other industries. So the challenge to incorporate the value of sustainability in our product offer is a more complex one as far as wellness is concerned than as far as tradition and origin are concerned. For sure, wellness orientation is the most robust consumption macro trend. European consumers have been interviewed last year and they told us that 70% of the European shoppers include in their food intake healthy food. These are whole grains, products with less sugar, less calories, pure calories, as well as all the functional products as well. One consumer out of two claims that organic products are included in his or her diet. 40% have a predominantly vegetarian diet, so most likely this is the less favorable aspect because vegetarians tend to eat more fruit and vegetables and fewer animal and milk proteins. And then, of course, we have the issue of food intolerance, so lactose-free and gluten-free products that have a much higher penetration, going beyond the real number of people who suffer from intolerance. So this is related to a feeling of well-being, even though we're talking of specific products. These trends are very different in Europe. We can say that as far as healthy food is concerned, there is a convergence, ranking from 80% in Greece in terms of the significant introduction of healthy food in their diet, but also in Italy, which ranks last, has a high number of people who have incorporated healthy food in their diet. As far as organic products are concerned, we have a very different situation all over Europe. Italy is last. Only 32% of shoppers claim that they have organic products in their diet. However, this can be interpreted in a positive way because there's still a huge unexpressed potential as far as organic food is concerned in Italy. And this will be confirmed also by market data, showing that this market is growing. The most important point, however, is that this type of behavior and attitude towards the diet is actually becoming stronger and stronger. So much so that the difference between the European consumers who have decided in the last few years to increase their share of wellness products in their diet is 40% higher than the share of consumers who have decided to reduce this. Of course, not everybody goes on with this choice, but the difference is significant. So more than 40% will increase the consumption of healthy food. 34% will increase their organic consumption, and 26% and 24% for vegetarians and food intolerance. At a glance, we can see here that Italy, France, and the Netherlands are the most important countries as far as the perspective to increase penetration is concerned. Back to the organic opportunity. Looking at small and large hypermarkets and supermarkets, we can see that the food business, talking about packaged products, as far as organic are concerned, amounts to 4 points, and we've moved from 780 million to more than 1.5 billion, so the consumption turnover has increased significantly. The market is much larger in Italy because we have also the specialized shops with an equal amount of revenues, more or less. So it's already a presence, but it can still grow. Organic growth has been determined by the capability of supermarkets to widen their shelf offer, their shelf supply. On average, a supermarket has more than 560 organic products. Consumers, especially the most convinced ones, can find in the supermarket, which is the elective touchpoint for shopping, and gives the opportunity to have organic products to compete against a specialized channel, which has grown a lot in the last few years. And this has determined the success of private label products, because unlike what happens in the food industry, where brands have a predominant role, as far as organic food is concerned, the situation is the opposite. So it's a private label that has actually appropriated the value of this type of products. And this means that industries can still expand. Well, what about your industry? Your industry has played a significant role. In the last 5 years, it has grown brilliantly, approximately 70%. And the share of milk-based products amongst organic ones amounts to 13%. And the shelf supply has also expanded progressively in harmony with the whole industry. So 8% of milk products, of the biological ones, with a significant growth that is in line with the organic industry in general. Regarding the most important trends of a health-based type of diet, we can see another important trend in Italy, which is the one of whole grain products. In supermarkets, the market has moved significantly with a growth rate greater than 60%. So whole grains and cereal-based products lead the growth for healthy food, including superfood, a market that is growing significantly, worth almost 850 million euros, and it is growing at a rate which is greater than 24%. Another big opportunity for the value of sustainability is related to local food. There is a big demand for local food with the short chain from the farm to the fork, products that are able to certify the origin. So we have the PDO products and the PGI products that have gone up by almost 7% in an industry that is, for the rest, flat, talking about pre-packed food products. And made in Italy products have also gone up by almost 3%. And there are many brands that refer to their region of origin to compete on the market. Back to the wellness trend, to better understand whether the decisions made by the consumers are actually determined by the value of sustainability, or whether sustainability comes as a consequence of decisions that are made to achieve personal wellness and well-being. Well, it is clear that the general wellness is the main reason why these products are bought. And there are also other reasonable reasons, such as losing weight, or there might be specific health issues. However, we can also find other motivations that are more directly connected to sustainability. Specifically, one consumer out of 5, 22%, claims that healthy food is chosen to protect the environment. 1/3, i.e. 34% of consumers, choose healthy food because they are skeptical about products containing additives. This is another interesting element which makes us think about communication and its relevance. So the way how information that is provided to the consumer is actually perceived. Additives are fundamental to preserve products. However, we know that consumers don't like them, even though there is very strict ruling about this. Nevertheless, consumers are afraid of these products. They try to refrain from them. So it is a big challenge for all of us to try and change the erroneous perception of consumers, to be able to free some products for consumption since they're useful and necessary. This must be done in Greece, where there is a lot of worry. 57% of Greek shoppers choose healthy food because they do not want to have additives in the products they eat. As far as the environmental awareness is concerned, we can see that France and Holland are the most advanced countries where about 1/3 of consumers makes this kind of choice for environmental reasons. Italy is still lagging behind. Another interesting element that brings us back to the harmonious choice of food for health, wellness, and sustainability is the way how consumers put into practice their attitudes and their new diet style. 60% of them increase the quantities of fruit and vegetables in their diet. Almost 23% follow the Mediterranean diet. These are two significant elements that are strictly related to the consumption of low environmental impact products. Then we have two more factors that bring us to a different type of observation, and here I'm going back to communication. So very often consumers try to eat health food because they actually read the labels, they read the nutritional tables and the list of ingredients. This means that, unlike what happened in the previous years, the data reported on the packaging are a fundamental competitive factor to generate growth and be successful on the market. This is very important not only for those data that are strictly related to nutritional value and ingredients, but rather also to other tools that we use to communicate the sustainability of our products. In the previous presentation, we have seen the trademarks and the logos of many third parties that are committed to environmental sustainability, and you can find so many of those on many different products. Well, this is a winning element in Italy. We have analyzed more than 6,000 products for a 3.7 billion euro worth of revenues, and we have discovered that this mass of products goes up by 12%. These are the data of the last year. Sustainability, therefore, is a central value in consumers' choices, but it is also an instrument that we can use and that must be communicated when we sell our products. It opens a direct channel with consumers, produces synergies and growth. Thank you very much for your attention.